Howdy folks, this is Carla, and this time I'm here to do a review for I'm sorry, my throat is a little bit off right now, but I will try my hardest to do this review for episode 2 of season 1 of Lucifer. This episode is titled Lucifer Stay Good Devil, which I thought it was a funny name, and a funny line in the episode as well. So basically, for the most part of the episode, it felt kind of very repetitive. Kind of the same theme that we got in the first episode. It's that Lucifer comes across Chloe and thinks there's something special about her that he just can't quite place, so he's really intrigued. Meanwhile, Maze and the other angel, whose name I keep forgetting, try to get Lucifer back into hell and stop him from changing. From becoming more human with each day that he spends in Los Angeles. So it was kind of the same deal for a good chunk of this episode. Again, there's Chloe, there's a secret about her that Lucifer is just dying to know, and, he tries his charm on people. Again, this is the Tom Ellis show, okay? None of this would work without Tom Ellis here, and he is a really good Lucifer, so I like that. But at the same time, try to make it more interesting. It wasn't until the moment he was arguing with Maze about, going back to hell and how he was changing, that he actually let out the devil in him, literally, that I started getting more interested in this thing. Because, with the whole thing with the therapist, which, by the way, this woman whose name I'm so bad with names, I don't remember her name either, the actress's name, but she's really fond of playing therapists, isn't she? Either she's a therapist or she's a librarian, or she has that kind of stereotype, but I like her. It's always fun to see her in anything, but with the whole thing with the therapist, it almost makes me hope that they actually do go down that road with Lucifer, where he thinks he's delusional. Like, right now he knows that he's the devil, so, and he has these conversations with angels and time stops and immortality and whatever. I think it would be good if, at least for one episode, they planted the seed of the doubt of whether he actually is the devil or not. I could see that happening in like a season finale or something. That would be interesting. I mean, I really do believe he's the devil, because otherwise the show kind of has no point. But it would be interesting to see him doubt himself. Like, what if he thinks he's just, seeing hallucinations or whatever? What if he doubts the fact that he's the devil? I think that would be interesting. But then when that whole conversation with Maze happened, which, by the way, I don't really like Maze. I don't think they've explained her enough. Like, is she supposed to be a demon? I guess. She's not an angel, obviously, but I guess she's supposed to be a demon. But we don't really know what she does, like, what her purpose is. Is she just, like, Lucifer's valet or something? So, and the actress isn't that great. I mean, I'm sure she'll get better, but while they were having this conversation, I was just kind of cringing, because she was really, I don't know, I didn't like it. I did, however, enjoy Lucifer's reaction to her. The whole, red eyes, angry voice thing, that was very fitting for him. And I, from that point on, I sort of started paying more attention to the episode, and I really liked the little details too, like this whole thing where Lucifer just stands behind Chloe and whispers in her, like, over her shoulder, like the devil in the shoulder. I thought that was really great. And then they did it again later on, during the standoff, where it's Lucifer standing on one side of the guy, Max, I think his name was, and then Chloe standing on the other side telling him not to shoot, which is very, devil angel on the shoulder kind of thing. I thought that was really interesting. I like that Chloe is kind of coming to the realization that there's something more to Lucifer than she originally thought, and that maybe there's something going on in there about everything he's been telling her that she isn't believing. So I like that. I like Chloe a lot better in this episode, honestly. In the first one, it was kind of weird. But in this one, I think with her backstory about her mother and the paparazzi, and her experience with these people, how much she hated them, and then she still wants to do the right thing for Max, I thought that was very, I don't know, I liked her a lot better in this episode. And the whole standoff thing was really the highlight of the episode for me, because again, we're starting to see Lucifer as a more human person. His personality becomes more human, and he's this little spoiled rich white guy stereotype. It's like, hey, I have all the money in the world and all the power in the world, so I can do whatever I want, and blah blah blah. And he's very spoiled and whatnot. And he likes to have his way with things, but he's starting to realize there's something more to humanity, and it's changing him, and he doesn't know how to take that. But at the same time, I'm very interested in his notion, because I've always been interested in alternative explanations for alternative interpretations of Lucifer, because obviously I'm not a Satanist or anything, but I think it's interesting to see things from different points of view. And Lucifer has always been considered the symbol of evil, basically. But at the same time, there's this idea that there should be a balance, right? If you have ultimate good in the shape of God, then you should have ultimate evil in the shape of the devil. It's not just something that is, it's something that's necessary, in a way, to really maintain the balance of life and death. And it's like the concept of Hades in Greek mythology is, this is someone who is necessary, because souls have to go somewhere, and spirits and sinners have to be punished somehow. Sins have to be punished, and somebody has to kind of make that happen. So if you look in Greek mythology, Hades is not necessarily an evil being. He's actually a very fair being, one of the fairest, definitely more than his brothers. And it's very interesting because he's more of an administrator than an actual evil being. He doesn't necessarily enjoy punishing people, but he understands that he has to dish out punishment because people deserve it. And that's something I saw in Lucifer, and that attracted me to Lucifer, just this idea that he's really bent not just on hurting people because he can, or because he's evil, or because he's mean, but punishing people who deserve punishment. And now that he's not in hell, he has to do it on earth. So this whole Mexican standoff thing that he orchestrated was very interesting to me, because again, none of these men, obviously one deserved more punishment than the other, I guess, because one actually killed people and the other was just a disgusting human being. But I like this idea that Lucifer wants to give out punishment to people who deserves it, and he has nothing against people who are good. It's like, yeah, okay, it's kind of boring for him, but he's not out to hurt anyone. He's not pure evil. It's not like he's trying to get people to die or anything, or to suffer. So I think it's a neat interpretation of Lucifer and the mythos, and because it's a lot closer to the Hades of mythology, I kind of like it because I'm really into mythology. So I thought it was very interesting. That was the part that really drew me. I didn't necessarily care for the angel stopping time again. It's like, they should give him something better to do, honestly, because this whole thing of coming in and talking to Lucifer and trying to talk him into coming back to hell, I don't think Lucifer is easily talked into anything, so I think it's kind of pointless. Same with Maze. I just don't think it's going anywhere, but I do like Lucifer's reactions to them and how he perceives justice should be. It's very interesting to me. So that part I really did like, as well as the whole, devil angel on the shoulder thing. That was really interesting to me. The rest of the episode, like I said, not necessarily great. Didn't really hold my attention. I did like, however, in the ending, Chloe's conversation with her daughter. That was kind of adorable. The daughter's like, "Mommy, I already know," and I'm like, "Oh, that's so cute." That kid is adorable, and I really like that Lucifer like threw the doll like away, and it's like, "Fetch," and Chloe just looks at him like she's not a dog, and that was funny. I mean, I like the kid. The kid is adorable. I am wondering about the husband because he seemed really helpful this time around. I don't know if that's. I mean, I would hope that he's actually a good guy, because it's kind of refreshing on TV to find these ex-husbands and new boyfriends that aren't D-bags but are actually genuinely good people. They just, the relationship just didn't work. That's fine. So I would find it very refreshing. At the same time, I'm not sure that I buy it yet. I would have to see more of him to actually come to a conclusion on whether I like him or not. But it was kind of interesting, that bit, at least. I thought he was being like really nice in this one, so I guess we'll see. And like I said, I like that Chloe's starting to figure out that there's something weird about this Lucifer dude. But yeah, for the most part, the episode didn't really hit me until the, I don't know, last 15 minutes or so. That's when it started to get interesting for me. And I did think that the paparazzi plot was kind of, the morality of the story was kind of pushed a little bit too hard. It's like, okay, I know paparazzi are bad, but you don't have to hammer me over the head with it. I don't know, it was an okay episode, if a little bit repetitive. But again, I'm not expecting much of this show. Again, it's the Tom Ellis show. I would like to see if they can come up with interesting ways for this to go. Like I said, maybe Lucifer will at some point like start thinking that he's not really the devil and that it's all a delusion in his mind. That would be interesting to see. I hope they kind of deal with these alternate interpretations, because I find those very interesting, and at a personal level. But overall, I thought it was an okay episode. Again, it didn't discourage me from watching the show. I will keep watching. So I think it did its job, and if they actually go down a road that will be interesting, I think the seeds are planted right now, for them to actually try and do something very innovative with this show. So I guess we'll see. For the moment, as always, be sure to visit our website at thegeekypub.com. I don't only have the review for the previous episode of Lucifer, but we also have reviews for other TV shows, books, movies, games. We have a ton of stuff in there, so be sure to visit, check it out. I'm sure you'll find something you'll like. We have a ton of stuff in there. And also, if you guys want to be notified as soon as possible when we upload a new review, then you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because that's the fastest way. Usually reviews go up on YouTube before they hit the website most of the time. So that is the fastest way to be notified as soon as we upload something new. And I guess that's about it from me today. I will see you guys in my next review. Bye.